Have you ever worried about cancer? It's a thought that crosses many of our minds, especially as we get a little older. The idea of something silently growing within us, often without obvious symptoms until it's advanced, can be truly unsettling. We all hope we'd catch something early, don't we? But what if there was a subtle, often overlooked indicator, right there on your body, that could offer a crucial early warning? What if paying closer attention to this one spot could genuinely make a difference in catching something potentially serious? Years before it becomes a major problem, it's a painful reality that many serious health issues, including certain types of cancer, are only diagnosed when they've had time to develop, making treatment more challenging. But your body is an incredible communicator, always sending signals if you know how to listen. And there's one particular area, often exposed to the world, that acts like a silent messenger, giving you clues about your internal health. It's a part of you that you see every day, yet might not truly observe with a critical eye. In this video, we're going to explore this surprising spot, what subtle changes to look for, and why these observations are so vital for your well-being. We'll look at the simple steps you can take to understand its messages and empower yourself with knowledge. Watch to the end for something that will truly surprise you about how much control you have over your health journey. Let's talk about this remarkable spot, this silent messenger that holds so many potential clues: your skin. Yes, your skin. It's the largest organ in your body, covering you from head to toe, and it's constantly regenerating, adapting, and responding to your environment and your internal health. Many of us think of skin mainly in terms of wrinkles or dryness, but it's so much more than just a surface. It's a window into your overall health. And crucially, it can be one of the earliest predictors of certain cancers, specifically skin cancers, which are among the most common forms of cancer, especially as we age. Think about it for a moment. How often do you really examine your skin beyond a quick glance in the mirror? Do you regularly check areas that aren't immediately visible, like your back, the back of your legs, or even the soles of your feet? Most people don't, and that's perfectly understandable. Life gets busy, and these things can slip our minds. But what if making this a simple, regular habit could literally save your life? Skin cancers, when caught early, are overwhelmingly treatable. The problem arises when they go unnoticed, quietly growing and potentially spreading. That's why understanding what to look for on your skin is so incredibly powerful. Let's start by considering any new spots that appear, or existing spots that change. This is perhaps the most important thing to pay attention to. Imagine you have a mole that you've had for years, perhaps since childhood. It's always been a certain size, a certain color, and a certain shape. Now, imagine if that mole suddenly starts to look different. Maybe it's growing bigger, or its edges are becoming irregular and jagged instead of smooth. Perhaps its color is changing, becoming darker in some areas, or even showing multiple shades of brown, black, or even red and white. These are all significant warning signs. It's not about panicking over every single freckle, but rather about noticing those changes that stand out. Another important characteristic to observe is symmetry. Most benign moles are symmetrical. If you were to draw a line down the middle, both halves would roughly match, but a suspicious spot might be asymmetrical, meaning one half looks distinctly different from the other. Think of it like this: if you fold a picture of a typical mole in half, the two sides would align pretty well. But if you do that with a problematic spot, the two sides might be completely mismatched. This subtle difference is a key indicator. And then there's the color. A healthy mole usually has a consistent color throughout, but a concerning spot might have varied colors, shades of tan, brown, black, even patches of red, white, or blue. It's like a patchwork quilt, where each section is a different shade. This multicolored appearance can be a red flag, prompting a closer look. Finally, think about the diameter. While not always a definitive sign on its own, A spot larger than a pencil eraser, about 6 millimeters, is often considered more suspicious and warrants a doctor's attention. But remember, smaller spots can also be cancerous, so size isn't the only factor. The most critical aspect is evolution. Any change in size, shape, color, or elevation, or any new symptoms like bleeding, itching, or crusting. If a spot you've had for years suddenly starts to itch persistently or bleed for no obvious reason, that's definitely a sign to get it checked out. It's about being observant, not obsessive. Think of it as performing a simple, regular health check on your skin, the same way you might monitor your blood pressure or glucose levels. This little habit can become one of your most powerful tools for early detection. Now that we've discussed these initial visual cues, let's consider some other less obvious signs and areas that deserve your attention. Now, while paying attention to existing moles and new, changing spots is absolutely crucial. Your skin can send other signals that deserve your awareness. Not all skin cancers look like typical moles. Sometimes, it can be a persistent sore that doesn't heal, or a red, scaly patch that just won't go away. Imagine a small lesion on your earlobe, or a persistent, crusty spot on your scalp that you might mistake for dry skin. If you've had a bump or a sore that lingers for more than a few weeks, especially if it bleeds occasionally, that's a signal your body is sending you that shouldn't be ignored. It might look like a pimple that never quite clears up, or a small, shiny bump that's pearly or waxy in appearance. Or perhaps it's a flat, firm, red lesion. These can be signs of basal cell or squamous cell carcinomas, which are much more common than melanoma, but still require timely treatment. And where should you look? This is where many people miss important clues. We tend to focus on areas that are easily visible: our arms, face, and neck. But skin cancers often develop in areas that get a lot of sun exposure over a lifetime, but which we don't look at closely very often. Think about your scalp, especially if you have thinning hair, or the tops of your ears, which are incredibly vulnerable to sun damage. What about your back? Unless you have a partner who helps you out, or you use a hand mirror. Your back is a blind spot. The same goes for the backs of your legs, or even the soles of your feet and between your toes. Yes, even areas that aren't typically exposed to the sun can develop skin cancer. Though it's less common, people of all skin tones need to be vigilant. Underneath your fingernails or toenails, you might notice a dark streak that isn't a bruise and doesn't grow out with the nail. These are areas often missed during self-exams, yet they are just as important to check. So, how do you make this a practical habit without turning it into a source of anxiety? Think about incorporating a monthly head-to-toe skin check into your routine. Perhaps after a shower when your skin is clean and soft, use a full-length mirror and a handheld mirror for those hard-to-see areas like your back. Don't forget to check your scalp using a comb to part your hair. And definitely look at your palms and soles, including under your nails. If you have a partner, ask them to help you check your back and other spots you can't easily see. This isn't about being a medical expert. It's about becoming familiar with your own skin, knowing what's normal for you, and being able to notice anything new or changing. And this leads us to a crucial protective habit that ties directly into what we're discussing: sun protection. Even in our senior years, protecting our skin from the sun is incredibly important. Many of the skin changes we've talked about are directly linked to cumulative sun exposure over decades. Think about all those summers at the beach, working outdoors, or simply enjoying the garden without adequate protection. The damage adds up. So, what can you do now? Simple things: wear protective clothing like long-sleeved shirts and wide-brimmed hats when you're outdoors, especially during peak sun hours. Seek shade whenever possible, and consistently use a broad-spectrum sunscreen with an SPF of 30 or higher. Even on cloudy days, apply it generously to all exposed skin, and reapply every 2 hours, or more often if you're sweating or swimming. It's never too late to adopt these protective habits. and they can significantly reduce your risk of developing new skin cancers. Remember, this isn't just about preventing wrinkles. It's about preserving your health and catching early warning signs. By being proactive and observant, you're taking a powerful step toward living your healthiest life. Next, we'll talk about what to do when you do notice something concerning and why acting quickly is so vital. So, you've started paying closer attention to your skin. You're doing your regular self-checks, and you're thinking about sun protection. That's fantastic. But what happens if you do notice something that fits the descriptions we've discussed? A mole that's changed, a new spot that looks suspicious, or a sore that just won't heal? This is the most crucial part of this entire discussion: taking action. The simple, most powerful step you can take is to see a doctor, specifically a dermatologist if possible. As soon as you notice something concerning, do not delay. It's easy to dismiss things, to think, it's probably nothing, or I'll get to it eventually. We all do it, but with skin changes that could indicate cancer, time truly is of the essence. Early detection can mean the difference between a minor procedure and a much more extensive treatment. Imagine finding a small, suspicious spot, having it biopsied, and discovering it's an early-stage cancer that can be easily removed. That's a huge relief. And it's a scenario that plays out countless times when people are vigilant. The peace of mind alone is worth the trip to the doctor. Sometimes, people worry about bothering their doctor or feeling silly if it turns out to be nothing serious. Let me tell you, medical professionals are there to help you. They would much rather you come in for a potentially harmless spot than wait until a serious issue has progressed. Think of it as preventative maintenance for your most important asset, your health. Your doctor isn't just treating illness. They're your partner in maintaining wellness. They have specialized training and tools, like a dermatoscope, that allow them to examine skin lesions much more closely than you can with the naked eye. What might look like an ordinary mole to you could reveal telltale patterns to a trained eye that indicate a need for a biopsy. Beyond individual suspicious spots, consider making an annual skin check with a dermatologist a regular part of your health routine, especially if you have a history of significant sun exposure, a lot of moles, or a family history of skin cancer. Even if you're diligent with your self-checks, a professional can spot things in hard-to-see areas or recognize subtle signs that you might miss. It's like having your car serviced annually, even if it seems to be running fine. It's about catching potential problems before they become major breakdowns. Remember, this knowledge isn't meant to create fear, but to empower you. Your body is a gift, and understanding its signals is a form of self-care. It's about being proactive, not reactive. It's about being an active participant in your own health journey, rather than just a passenger. The ability to predict potential early cancer, in this case, lies literally on the surface of your body, accessible to your own observation. It's a reminder that you hold significant power in managing your health, simply by being aware and responsive. So, take a moment to look at your hands right now. Look at your arms. Think about those areas of your body that get sun exposure. Make a commitment to yourself to start observing your skin regularly. If something feels off or looks different, don't hesitate. Pick up the phone and make that appointment. It could be the most important phone call you make all year. We've covered how to spot changes in moles and other skin lesions, where to look on your body, and the incredible importance of sun protection and professional checkups. These simple, actionable steps truly give you an advantage in protecting your health. What are your thoughts on this? Have you ever noticed a suspicious spot and had it checked? Share your experiences and insights in the comments below. Your stories might just inspire someone else to take action. If you found this video helpful and empowering, please give it a thumbs up. That tells me you want more content like this. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on our future videos. All designed to help you live your best life at every age. Remember, small changes can make a big difference to your health and happiness. Stay vigilant, stay proactive, and keep living your best life at every age.